Hello, wonderful viewers of Wonder Tips channel. I love you all because you are my part and parcel. Always through last 7 years, I have seen you near side me, always sporting. And today was 279th session live in the morning at 7 a.m. Indian Standard Time on personal development and motivational topics. And you are always loving me, giving me your insights, giving your ideas. And I am also trying to deliver you as per expectation. The purpose is how we can come alive in this world. This is full of opportunities, and this life will not come again. In that series, I brought my wonderful friend, Mr. VINEETT Kapila, who is having great experience of industrial transformation with his wonderful strategies. So we'll be discussing in details, my dear friends. उनका स्वागत करते हैं हम. I welcome him and tell that how he can give his wonderful introduction, and then we'll start our podcast. And before that, I will say just have full excitement and take pen and paper with you so that you can write down the major points. My dear friends, just focus and listen to my friend VINEETT Kapila. Now mic is for you, sir.
Thank you, VK. Thank you for such a lovely introduction. आपने तो मुझे master of the universe बना दिया इस समय. Thank you very much. Friends, I've walked the corporate aisles for 34-35 years now. First as a professional till 2018, and now as a professionalpreneur for last 5 years. Well, the journey has been very, very interesting, very, very learning, and very, very inspiring. But that's my journey. Today's session, I think VK wants to focus on helping or assisting you guys looking at various opportunities, various inspirational positions we can take while growing professionally and personally. So we will continue to use a conversational style. I am not going to worry about sharing bigger models or frameworks and all. It is more of a conversation based on my personal experiences and my learning journey over the last 35 years. And that's the truth, because this is not from a book or it's not from a science fiction. It is purely from life. What I've experienced, I'm going to share that with you, and that may help you to solve your challenges or enhance your positioning in personal and professional life. So yes, VK, I'm ready. Let's start.
वंडरफुल सर, वेलकम वेलकम. स्वागत है आपका इस चैनल पर एक बार दोबारा से. और अब हम शुरू करते हैं हमारा ऑफिशियल चैनल का पॉडकास्ट. दोस्तों, before going to that, I am telling you again, focus, focus, and focus. So now, first question, my dear friend VINEETT, you have worked across diverse industries. How do you adapt your leadership style to each sector? Please.
Well, that's a very, very unique question, an interesting question. And now, the beauty of this question is it's a trick question, I will say, VK. Your leadership style is always unique to you, and that stays with you in every industry.
Right.
Yes, you may make different strategic decisions based on the dynamics of that industry and the dynamics of the market and the country you are operating in. But your leadership style of leading the business stays with you. Your natural self stays with you. I usually use 2 or 3 types of leadership styles, if I can put them in structure. One is adaptive leadership, which I work with very often. The other is servant leadership. I'm willing to learn from everybody. And because I worked in diverse sectors over the last 35 years of my journey, this adaptive leadership or learning style leadership always helped me, because I went into the industry where I had no knowledge. I knew what business is, but I didn't understand the nuances of the vertical or the business I was handling. So it was important for me to learn from the people already existing in that business.
Right.
And that helped me a lot. sometimes it was challenging because learning new skills at every given point of time is challenging. But people were very helpful. They were willing to teach. They were they were willing to make you learn. They were willing to share their knowledge. And the beauty of this learning leadership style is that you can get your knowledge from any point in the organization, from your COO to your foreman in the factory, or your frontline salesman to your regional or national sales head. Everybody will share something with you. One such example, and because I share this, many years back, I used to be in advertising time sales. And without naming the client, it was becoming very difficult for me to meet that client. And good old days, there were no mobile or no emails or pagers. You had to physically go and meet the client. And the learning came from the front office girl. She said, "Sir, if you want to meet this gentleman, arrive in office at 2:30. Because after his lunch break, he takes a half an hour nap. And from 2:30 to 3:30, he doesn't have any engagements. That's the time I will slip you in and you can meet him." And the beauty of the whole conversation was that I not only met the gentleman and we did business together. After a few years, I went to work for him, and I had a very long-standing relationship with that gentleman. He also initiated me into books, and that was a turning point in my life. And I learned from this girl. Now, this kind of a learning can only come from a person who's willing to teach you. So if you're open to receive, you will always learn new things.
Very correct. Very correct, sir. So coming into the next question, how do you identify whether a business needs innovation, transformation, or turnaround?
Well, you've been very smart with your questions, VK. You are bowling googlies along with dusra and tisra in the same step. Well, there is one simple reason why businesses have challenges. हर बिजनेस की एक कहानी होती है, और जब कहानी बदलती है तो बिजनेस बदलता है, और उस समय एक नई कहानी की जरूरत होती है. अगर हम अपने पास्ट में जाएं या हमारे टाइम का बारे में सोचें, तो नोकिया की कहानी बदली, वो चले गए. कोडेक की कहानी बदली, वो चले गए. पेजर्स थे एक जमाने में, उनकी कहानी बदली, चले गए. सो आपको एक नजर रखनी पड़ती है अपने कस्टमर की नीड्स पे, एक अपने कस्टमर की रिक्वायरमेंट पे, और एक अपनी मार्केट की रिक्वायरमेंट पे, और उसमें से जो कहानी निकल के आ रही है, आपको उस कहानी के हिसाब से अपने बिजनेस को आगे बढ़ाना पड़ता है.
राइट.
और उस बिजनेस को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए आप कोई भी स्ट्रैटेजी यूज कर सकते हैं, और वो स्ट्रैटेजी ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव हो सकती है, टर्न अराउंड स्ट्रैटेजी हो सकती है, या ग्रोथ स्ट्रैटेजी हो सकती है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन आप क्या अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं अपने कस्टमर के बारे में और अपनी मार्केट के बारे में, और आप क्या चेंजेस डेवलप करना चाहते हैं.
राइट.
अगर हम ग्रोथ इंडस्ट्री की बात करें तो बिगेस्ट सक्सेस ऑफ आवर टाइम्स इज दी लो कॉस्ट एयरलाइंस. आप देखिए आज की डेट में, एक जमाने में एयर ट्रैवल वाज नॉट फॉर एवरीबडी, बट टुडे लो कॉस्ट एयरलाइंस अक्रॉस द ग्लोब आर डूइंग गुड बिजनेस. यस, देयर आर चैलेंजेस because of high fuel price, high operation cost, but low cost airlines have created a beautiful network of airlines where you can travel at fraction of the cost across continents. So this is again a story. I'm not saying that the full service airlines are not doing well, but low cost airlines play a big role. Same way, telecom. You remember good old days when mobile came, we used to pay 16 rupees a minute, in or out.
Very correct.
Today, voice is free because data is ruling the. So these companies realized what was the customer demand, and they continue to attract new customers to the fold, and they kept on growing.
Right.
So any business, one bottom line is there. आपकी कहानी क्या है, उस कहानी के नए किरदार कौन होंगे, उस नई कहानी का अंजाम क्या होगा, ये आप ही को लिखना है. आपसे बेटर कोई नहीं कर सकता ये बात. और ये बात प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में भी इन्वॉल्व होती है. बहुत बार लोग कहते हैं जी मैं कंपनी में काम कर रहा था, 5 साल बाद कंपनी ने मुझे रिडंडेंट कर दिया. भाई आप एक कहानी बेच रहे थे, 5 साल बाद कंपनी की कहानी बदल गई, आपकी कहानी से उनकी कहानी से नहीं मैच खाती.
राइट.
एज ए प्रोफेशनल आपको अपनी कहानी को अपनी स्टोरी टेलिंग कैपेसिटी को या अपनी स्टोरी टेलिंग को इम्प्रूव करते रहना चाहिए.
राइट.
दैट्स द बिजनेस. सो देयर इज नो मेजर डिफरेंस इन एनी अदर वे. You have to continue to upskill, upgrade yourself, make yourself more relevant and acceptable and adaptable to
Right.
continue to succeed.
Wonderful, wonderful. Here I will add, sir. When I entered in textile industry after passing out from one of the best institute, TIT Bhiwani, I started in 1981 to 84 to this 2024. I have seen ups and downs of this industry. And as you told, Nokia, Kodak, and other pagers. Similarly, in our textile industry, what was the production per hour of a machine that changed to at least 20 times now? See, and per number of machines per operator have also increased. So then costing is coming to the competitive market all over the world. I was getting 15 kg per hour production of the, what I should say, our yarn. Now it is 200 kg, 15
Well,
to 20.
technology, VK technology has changed. So is
Right,
the customer demand.
right,
From polyester to nylon to linen, the journey has been great. So definitely fashion industry or textile industry has grown many folds,
right,
and it offers immense opportunity going forward because so many brands have been launched and D2C brands are doing very well in textile business.
right.
So we see an opportunity there. It's a big market right now.
Wonderful, wonderful. Coming on to the next question. In your experience, what makes or breaks a startup or any unit, big unit also, in first 12 months of operation?
Uh, for any business to be successful, you need to look at couple of things. First and the foremost thing is your product or a service solving a customer problem? Is
Right,
it, secondly, is it and is the consumption of your product would be repeatable? Like people will consume it more. Second part is your business offering or your service is aligned with the customer's cultural set? It's very important. And third and the foremost thing is how much commitment you have towards what you are doing. Lot many times, and I've seen it over the past 5-6 years, a lot of startups start and then they go haywire because they have not created a minimum viable product.
right,
Uh, lot and today's world there is nothing known as unique idea. Everybody has an idea. Who
right,
can execute it better is important.
right.
So if you see success, so if I have to draw parallels, look at the success of chai culture in India. So we have Chaudhry, we have Chayos, we have Chai Suta Bar, we
Mm,
have MBA Chai Wala. Suddenly chai has become big. I will not say coffee. Coffee is also big, but
right.
chai. So, but they all have their unique positioning. They're offering a unique service. End
Yes,
of the day, they're selling cup of a tea, which a guy in the roadside handcart is also selling the same tea,
right.
but they have glorified tea. So they have succeeded. So for any startup to succeed, it's the commitment, focus, customer pain point, and if you look at the commitment of your founders. If you see other big market, which is quick commerce guys, so whether you talk at Blinkit, Zepto, or whether you talk of Big Basket, or you talk of many more are there. These are the three big ones. I use all four applications today. I just go to one. If this item is not available, I go to the second.
Nice.
So what has happened is they are all gaining traction because they are solving a pain point of delivering in 9 minutes to your doorstep.
Wonderful. Really true.
And that's where the success is. So for any business to be successful, old, new, startup, legacy business,
Mhm.
what is the problem you are solving? And
Very
if you're solving the problem which customer believes is value addition, you will continue to succeed. Look at Airtel today, or look at the success of Netflix, or look at the success of any OTT platform,
yes.
or look at the success of any multiplexes today. So cinema going is no more an activity. It is a family reunion kind of a They're solving problems. So they're bringing people together. It's becoming an experience.
Right.
Any brand or any business. So if you're a young entrepreneur thinking of starting a business, think what problem you're going to solve. And if you can solve the problem and you're able to maintain customer experience and traction, success will automatically follow.
Very correct, sir. Very correct. So coming on to the next question, can you share a turning point that defined your leadership approach forever?
We all have multiple turning points in our professional lives, but some are the defining turning points. In one of the companies, I was head of promotions and customer engagement, and I was purely an operational guy. So my job was so that I'll get instructions, I'll create an operational plan and run the operations.
Right.
I was not responsible for any P&L or a brand P&L or something.
Mhm.
And then I realized that what I'm offering is a mere service. I'm not adding value. And I went to my boss and had a conversation with her. She's a lady boss and great boss. And she told me, Vineet, you need to become more strategic in nature. And obviously, I've read about strategy and what strategy is and all, but I didn't understand the parameters of strategy. So I told her, okay, I know what strategy is, but I've never done any strategic thinking or strategic work. Can you help me? And she was very nice and kind to me, and she nominated me a couple of programs where I went to attend, and I learned the various matrix of a brand building or a brand strategy.
Yes.
I came back, and to test my knowledge and understanding, she even allowed me to work on one of the brands. And that became a turning point where I started from being completely a head of operational activity. I started moving towards the P&L leadership. And over the years, I realized one thing, that these two parts, your operational excellence and your P&L leadership, are like two wheels of your bicycle.
Yeah.
If one is not working, you won't be able to run a business successfully.
Very correct.
So that was a big turning point and big learning point.
Wonderful.
And again, that underlines one thing, that if you have to survive and stay competitive and employable for long period, upskilling is the only way up. There is no other way. There's no shortcut to it. If you don't upskill, eventually you will get outdated. Like all the travel agents today. Do you book a ticket from a travel agent anymore? No. Everything is online. Good old days, I remember every company had a travel desk to book air tickets for people.
Right.
Today, those jobs are gone. So is the jobs of a stenographer. Today, you have AI. I can talk to ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other AI tool, and it will do minutes of the meeting for me. It will write me a note,
Mhm.
and then there will be software which will correct it in all sense.
Mhm.
So work which used to take hours and hours earlier
Yeah.
now takes few minutes. So one has to be always ready to upskill. That's the important part.
Very correct. Very correct. So coming again, you have worked across GCC and India. What is your best advice on managing multicultural teams?
Okay, one needs to understand when we say multicultural teams, it is not that you are managing different species, you're managing humans. And beauty of managing any human being, irrespective of his caste, creed, religion, country of origin, is that you need to be human to him.
Right.
Your empathy towards that person will help you to lead that team well. Yes, they are culturally different, they are behaviorally different. So you need to understand and you need to be focused on very clearly that what is the cultural differences there. Like when you travel and work across the globe, there are various ways of operating. So just to give an example, you're working with Japanese, they're very punctual. I'm not saying others are not, but they are overtly punctual.
Right.
So you have to respect that culture. If you work with Americans or Europeans, they're methodical. They want everything in writing. They don't believe in verbal conversations. They will believe in an email or a structured document. So you need to learn to make sure that they feel comfortable about it. As Indians, and when we work in India now, definitely it's not a negative part, but sometimes we have a very softer approach, a casual approach to things. Some people don't understand that. Some people can't work in the gray. So you have to have empathy towards various people's behavior, and you will be able to manage cross-cultural teams. As the team becomes bigger, you need to put processes in place so there is no ambiguity. And these processes should include not only individuals' processes, but his overlaps with others, but his interactions with others. So the large organizations in Middle East when I worked, I have seen documents which clearly explains up to a level of a CEO what is expected of him in detail, as basic as how many reviews he will run in a year, what he has to do, what his team has to do before the review, during the review, after the review. So these documents have been documented, the processes have been documented. In popular terms, we call them success routines.
Right.
And if you have these strong success routines in an organization, managing any team is easier. The challenge we face today with any startup or any young organization is they continue to grow and they continue to ignore processes.
Yes.
And that's become their biggest undoing.
Yes. Systematic approach is must. I
Yeah,
do.
because I remember my first time I was called internationally to a risk management team, a risk identification meeting. Why do we need to do risk identification? But after 2 days of meeting them, I realized the guy had a guy had a clear understanding. So obviously they can't identify risk like COVID-19 or anything, but political instability in a country when you're operating,
Yeah.
costs, proximity to war, proximity to trade sanctions. We used to operate in Iran. Market opened for 2 years and then again got shut down. So American companies could not operate in that market. They opened it up slightly in between for 2 years, between 2015 and 16. And by 17, again, the market was closed. Currently, what has happened to India? Mr. Trump has levied some 50-60% tariff on Indian imports. Suddenly, a lot of companies are facing a lot of challenges. Now, if there was a process and they would have created a risk assessment matrix and would have developed markets beyond America, they would have not faced this problem. It's easier said than done. When things are going good for you, you invariably don't read the fine text.
Right.
But for a strong business, it's important that today what is selling may not sell tomorrow. So are you ready for the change? And there should be a separate team which should continue to look at your change matrix. Look at how Tatas have evolved. Look at how Reliance has evolved from a petrochemical company to a retail giant in India, from a clothing company to this. How Tata today is in everywhere, from selling from tea to cars to steel. So obviously, this was the leadership of great Mr. Ratan Tata, and prior to that, Mr. J.R.D. Tata, and now the current leadership. But there were teams which are clearly identifying this.
Right.
So it is important that if you're a successful businessman, set aside some time for looking at your change growth going forward.
Very correct. Very correct. So, dear friends, before moving on to next question, tell me how you are enjoying. Your every clarity will be given here. Even then, you have a right to ask any question in comments. You will be getting all the details of my wonderful friend, VINEETT Kapila, in my YouTube link. You will get total details, WhatsApp, business, and some your calendar where you can fix your appointment. And I also tell you, you can do wonders. Just follow your mindset. And I am Unicorn CEO. Just see on my backside, it is self-clear what I am doing. You can connect with me if you want some mindset changes and transformational changes. Go to my friend Vineet, expert hand. All the best. So moving on to again, next question. How, Kapil, how can small businesses owners think big without overextending?
Okay, it's a very I keep getting this question from young startup guys and all. How do we become more prudent in our business without overextending ourselves?
Right.
I'll keep it simple for you. As a startup owner or a small business, when you start a business, you do everything on your own. One important part you need to learn, any young business, is continuously monitor your customer situation. When I say customer situation, whether it's a consumer or you're a B2B business or you're a B2C business or a D2C business, you have to continuously monitor the sentiment of your customer. It is important. So that means as a business leader, you should continuously engage with your customer and not leave it to any third party to manage it. And keep a focus on what is changing in his life, how you are adding value.
Right.
So as you continue to grow, it may not be possible to get in touch with all your customers, but you can pick and choose and continue to focus on few important ones. And you continue to renew that list on monthly or yearly basis to see who's to be added more to it. So that will keep you abreast. Second most important part for your success is self-belief. Invariably, young entrepreneurs or startup founders, they start creating self-doubt. Self-doubt happens to everybody. It happens to me. It happens to VK, everybody, at any given point in time. Self-doubt is like breathing in life. You will always have self-doubt. The only best way to manage self-doubt is you look at proper data, keep emotions to some extent out of that decision making, and focus on the right thing. And be ready to accept your mistakes. You will make mistakes, but
Yes.
usually people get undone by not accepting the mistakes. They continue with mistakes and then they get into all kinds of challenges.
Right.
Third, and the most important part is keep your friends closer, but keep your competitors more closer to you. Because competition will teach you a lot of things.
Right.
So keep an eye on your competition, what they are doing. Don't underrate them. Even a smaller competitor can play a havoc in your business.
Yes.
And most important part is be focused on what you are trying to achieve.
Right.
Don't rush into it. You have to have patience and self-belief to grow. That is very, very critical in any part, not only in business and personal, professional life. Anywhere, these two things are very, very important for you. And the most important thing which comes in the end is your commitment. How committed you are.
Right.
So if you take care of all this, obviously you'll have to take care of your cash flows, you'll have to manage your finances, banking relationships, those are important ones. And at the right time, art of delegation. I have a very good story. I've read it in this book based on Michael Dell, the owner of Dell Computers.
Mhm.
And there is a small story in that. I'm sure you guys can search. One day, Michael was sitting with Seagate negotiating for hard disks. Seagate is one of the largest hard disk manufacturers in the world. And Michael Dell or Dell Computers brought on-time inventory concept to my laptop manufacturing.
Right.
So they never used to carry any inventory. As and when you will order on a laptop, they will acquire the parts and manufacture one for you. That's how they used to operate once upon a time. So Michael picked up the phone and called his secretary and said, "Lady, I have Seagate sitting in the conference room and we don't have any soft drinks." And the lady on the other side politely replied, "Sir, the key to the soft drink cooler is in your pocket. So learn to delegate." I don't know how far it is true. It is in the book. I read that book many, many years back.
Uh-huh.
So maybe, but the beauty is don't keep the key to the software cooler or a cold drink cooler in your pocket.
Wonderful.
Try to trust your people.
Yes, wonderful.
So that is important. Try to delegate. If you can delegate, you will definitely be able to run your business more flexibly and more easily.
Right. Wonderful. So now we have to go a little bit faster as the time is not permitting us. So we'll be going faster now. So my dear friends, just listen carefully because you will need more and more focus. Okay. So here comes, how should brands today build trust in such a crowded digital space?
Again, when you have to build trust, whether you are a human being, you have to align to the cultural needs of the people you're building trust with.
Very correct.
Today, and this trust business is very, very important. So I think I will spend some more time here. Look at the trust. As soon as somebody tells me today, or I'm sure in your family to your parents or elder brother or anybody, this is from House of Tata,
Yeah,
irrespective of whether you're buying salt or you are buying a Range Rover,
right.
the trust is the same. And this was built over the years on only three most important parts: understanding the consumer, having empathy towards consumer problems, and solving any consumer concerns in the right time.
Right.
So if you're a new brand, be ready to gain trust by helping consumer out. I want to mention one brand here. There is a brand known as Harfun. This is a D2C clothing brand online, or Nimans. It's a shoe brand.
Mhm.
They have 14 days, no question asked return policy. And I've tested both of them, buying product from them and returning it. And no questions are asked. And to the beauty of the thing, I bought the product. I didn't like it. I returned it. The return was made in 1 day, and my refund came in 1 day. Now,
Okay.
that was the beauty of it. So that's how you build trust. You have to have empathy towards your customers.
Right.
Be true to your customers,
Right.
and be honest.
Right.
I love the brands. I order online sometimes, and they've simply sent me a message. Sorry, sir, over demand. Product will be delayed by 2 weeks. If you still want, great. Otherwise, we'll refund the money.
Yes. Yes.
So, this is a good part. So this is how you build trust. And
Wonderful.
if you build trust with the customer set, you will continue to grow.
Yes. Yes. So next question is: you have been a strategist and an operational field. Which role has challenged you more and why?
Both the roles were challenging, and it takes two to tango. So if you're only operational and you don't understand strategy, eventually in your life you will have a challenge. And
Right.
if you only understand strategy and you've never been closer to ground reality, you will again face a challenge.
Very right, sir.
Uh, I've been lucky. I was growing in times when I was taught operations.
Mhm.
And later, when I went to become the C-suite occupant and doing strategies and all, my ground reality helped me to learn from it. As important it is that when I was a CEO for a large electrical company, I visited all my prime sites where business value was above $1 million. I used to go to those sites. We used to do customizable electrical panels for large residential and commercial projects in Middle East,
Right.
across Africa. So I have visited customer sites in spite being a CEO and having zero knowledge of electrical panels on the highly technical side. I always went to the site to see what's happening there, how they're executing. Now, strategy is all done, pricing is all done, customer has already paid you, manufacturing has been all done. A simple execution has to happen, but you going there helps.
Right.
And that helped us grow the business multifold because people had started with this particular exercise of my senior people and myself visiting those sites added to the trust of those customers, and we started getting a lot of repeat orders. So as
Wonderful.
I said, in business everything is connected. All your actions are connected and they create a positive ripple effect across business. Same Similarly, your decisions in personal life also create ripple effects, which
Right.
will continue to give you larger acceptance.
Very correct, sir. So, sir, we will be giving little bit, short answers because your knowledge of say 40 years cannot be given in 40 minutes. So please,
So
and
I
we'll be
will.
sitting next time
Sorry,
also.
sorry for stretching, but
No, no,
that's
no,
okay.
no problem. So, what is your framework for sustainable growth, whether in retail, education, or telecom?
Uh, Sustainable growth, basically any sustainable growth in any business is based on three or four parameters. One is your understanding of your current market, your eye on your future trends of your market, your customer connect with the product, what problem you are solving, and third and the foremost is your commitment to delivering quality service and a consistent brand experience. If you have all these four in place in any business or personal service, I think business will continue to grow.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. How important is personal development in professional success?
It is like paddling on a bicycle. If you don't paddle, eventually you will fall. So I suggest to all my friends who are watching this podcast, whether you are 16 or 60, doesn't matter. Upskilling is part of life. You can't avoid. And with now, upskilling is more important because knowledge is easily available. So to acquire knowledge is the more important part, and learning how to use that knowledge in a right framework. So upskilling is very, very important, whether you're a professional or a CEO or a CXO or whoever you are. Upskilling is most important part.
Right, sir. Right. So my last question in long series questions: how do you stay grounded, inspired, resilient over decades?
Well, you will always have phases in life where you will lose some grounding or you will gain some grounding. But the most important part is if the best way is to always look at from where you have come, always be rooted in your past. When I say rooted in your past, doesn't mean you keep growing on your past, on your failures and all.
Right.
From where you have come and where you have reached. If you can focus on these two things, you will always stay grounded. The other better way of staying grounded is treat human as human. Doesn't matter whether he's your driver or a CEO or a CXO.
Yes.
Human is a human, so that is more important.
Great, sir. Great. Now coming on to the rapid fire questions round. Fun, insightful. It is one book that changed your thinking. One word answer.
Well, one book which changed my thinking was Magic of Thinking Big, presented to me by one of my friends.
Right.
I've read that, but after that, many books I've read, but this one stands out.
Wonderful. Coffee, meditation, or meetings. What starts your day?
I have a fourth option. I get up. I'm trying to avoid this habit, but WhatsApp starts the day, followed by coffee and sometime by meditation.
You are taking everything in advantage. Wonderful. So, biggest business myth you want to break? Some
business myth I want to break.
You can say, people say it is very difficult like that.
Okay. Well, the biggest myth I want to break is that business is business. And even a professional is a businessman. Because as a professional, if you're not a businessman, then you're not a successful professional. So a lot of people come and say, I'm a businessman and I'm a professional. No. If you're a professional, you're a businessman. Because you're running somebody else's business.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you very much for this wonderful time. Loved you, and we'll be bringing you again sometime. Thank you. See you.
Thank you very much, VK. God bless you. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. One minute at least. Come on. Yes. Wonderful. So, my dear friends, I have come from Chandigarh just to meet you all.
Thank you.
My lecture is over. So, now what I want to tell, I am Unicorn CEO